Welcome to the Velkyn Weave, a gathering of nerdy artists, analysts, engineers, nurses, dreamers, and performers who come together to play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm really glad you're all joining us tonight. If you're watching this for the first time, welcome to the Games Tavern. Please follow the Games Tavern on Twitch. It's free and supports the show, the cast, and the crew. If you can watch us on Twitch, all the shows are also uploaded on YouTube, typically 48 hours later, so you can catch up on all the shows you may have missed. We'll get rolling shortly, but first, we have some announcements.
Please remember that if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription, which you can use with us to show your support for the show's cast and crew. Prime Gaming subscribers get access to subs-only emotes and to a special subscriber-only channel on our TGT Discord.
And we love you, our friends, for your support, everything that you do for us. It's so great. And tonight, there's no better way to show that support than cheering your favorite characters. Your bits cheers show the support for the cast and crew. If we reach 500 bits, we're going to award a random inspiration to one of the players. And if you even go up to 1,000 bits, you get to pick which of those characters gets the inspiration, which, the GM's the player, or is it the option, right? Yeah. You have a channel goal of 50 subs this week. Only you can help us get there. Your subs help us get to the point where we can pay all of these wonderful cast and crew production members that work so hard in the background. Yeah.
A colossal thank you to Overhead Games for sponsoring tonight's show. Go to overheadgames.com to find some great support for your games. And of course, join us right here for some great prizes from them this month. They're the creative team behind the Epic Character Generator, an excellent tool for anyone who wants to create realistic character avatars in no time at all. So choose whatever items you want to display on your character, save it as an image, give them a pet, and use it in whatever way makes you happy. Go check them out at overheadgames.com.
And tonight we're giving away an Epic Character Generator from our sponsor at Overhead Games. The raffle for the package will begin about mid-game when we hit the break. You must be a follower to enter and be present for the staff to contact you to arrange your receipt of the prize. So get in that contest and win.
And next week, we will be feeding hungry kids. The Games Tavern, along with our friends and 6 other streaming channels, have set up a huge charity streams to support going on all week for No Kid Hungry. Each $1 raise provides up to 10 nutritious meals for hungry kids. You can take your part, and there are so many donation incentives from Shared Tabletop, D&D Beyond, Kobold Press, Die Hard Dice, Overhead Games, Miniature Market, and Incarnate. So go get cool stuff, a tax deduction, and warm feelings that helped feed hungry kids.
Nice.
And with that, you may have noticed there's a change from the last time the Velkyn Weave got together.
I don't notice a change.
No change?
No change.
I am not Grant. Grant is one of my favorite GMs, but the call of the wild has spoken to him, and like the Moody Blues song, he heard the song he had to follow. And so I am stepping in. My name is Eric Menge. The correct mispronunciation is Eric Menge. I am here to step in for the season 3 of the Velkyn Weave, and we've got some wonderful plots planned for all of you as the group goes into tier 3.
Huzzah!
Woo! This is going to be some high-powered craziness. I am really looking forward to it. We also have a new player with us, Leia. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, or would you rather me tell them about you?
Oh, goodness. You want to know what? You go ahead and tell them about me. I talk about myself way too often as is.
All right. Growing up on the Mediterranean island of Thermodisca, that wasn't it at all. I ran into this woman at GexCon?
GexCon, yeah.
Yeah, so here in the Northern Virginia, where she is a painter, an artist, a D&D player, and an all-around fabulous person. And I'm pleased that she agreed to join us in this show.
I'm super glad to be here. I'm really excited.
We're all glad to have you here with us.
Definitely.
Welcome.
I don't know if you'll be saying that by the end of the episode, but okay.
Well, it's another girl around, so
Well, it's more about
I'm not
making
alone
sure
anymore.
if we don't scare you off by the end of the show, it's a success. So.
And let's see if your character survives to the end of the episode. I mean,
All right,
Whoa.
awesome.
That's a good test, and we will introduce
Good
you to
encouragement,
the
guys.
most scariest of all the characters, Bo. So, Bo, let's start with you.
Yes. What?
A year has passed since the group got together and rescued the Elser Vale from the hand of the red hand of doom, as opposed to the left hand of squishiness. Bope has been traveling all over the Sword Coast, mostly in the south, in the lands of intrigue, on numerous errands. And we'll let Bope tell us all about that in the due course of the game. But his errand has taken him to the small village of Mossstone. And the town of Mossstone is a trade town, a caravan stop on the Great Trade Way that runs from Calumport all the way up, I believe, to Luskin, definitely to Waterdeep. And when it goes through the forest of Tethir, better known as the Wheeldoff, it passes through the small village of Mossstone. And he was told he needed to go here for reasons that he'll reveal later. Bo, you have chosen in your exploration to visit a place called Walking Out to Meet the Dragon, which is a small tavern inside of Mossstone on a back alley. It is a small, clean, quiet drinking establishment. Comfort is achieved by seating patrons in well-worn, overstuffed lounges whose mismatched state betrays their salvaged origins from grand homes elsewhere. The drinks are average in price, but generous in quantity and broad in variety. The centerpiece, however, is the Endless Fall, which is a ring of water that is magically moving in an endless circle over an untidy pile of stones set with glass-shielded candles. The water cascades noisily, drowning out sound elsewhere in the walking dragon. This makes conversations more private. The candles reflecting through the water sends dancing reflections rippling endlessly across the walls and the ceiling. All manner of travelers have stopped by the dragon. The owner is here, Karjira. She's the daughter of the founder. And she is a mountain of a woman who can lift and hurl tables when needed. And she's really good at looming to settle patrons down. Since it's primarily a tavern, there's some small plates here. Mixed nuts, melted cheese on bread, stuffed mushrooms, berries with clotted cream, chipped pork with mustard, and all things pickled. About an hour after you arrive, you see someone of interest to you. It's an elf with long white hair, tied up into a messy bun, leaving 2 braids behind her ears. Her charcoal skin is dotted with hints of dark freckles, spotting the bridge of her nose and cheeks, and making her sharply featured face slightly more beautiful. She's tall for an elf, nearly as tall as a human woman, and she's a hardy, athletic figure, especially in her arms and shoulders and the telltale signs of an archer. But what Boat mostly notices are her eyes. They're purple, like lilacs or amethysts. The elf has a quick word with Kadira and starts making her way around the bar, chatting with groups as she goes. And of course, she comes to your table.
Well, she sees a very, very haggard old gnome long of tooth, gray wispy hair, and next to him is sitting his little pet rabbit, little brown with white spots on the tips of the ears, and he's just feeding little nuts and berries to him. But he definitely catches your eye and just sort of waves.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Oh, good morning, evening, afternoon. Good
Evening.
Good day. Good day, my dear. Oh, what is your name? Do you work in this establishment?
I work in the town. I don't work at this specific establishment, but I frequent it quite often. My name is Stegander. You can call me Tig. All my friends do. Well, if I had friends, but I don't.
Tig. Oh, enchanting. My name is Bope. You can call me Bope. I have friends, but I haven't seen them for over a year. I've been traveling. These old bones don't move like they used to. Oh, please have a seat with me. Can I buy you some a pad of moss? Good food here.
I'll have a drink, yes, an ale. And I will hail a barmaid.
Boom, ale appears in front of you. And then they reach down, they put a little check on the coaster that goes on. That's how they keep track
Nice.
of how much you owe.
Fancy.
And the waitress is gone.
So, Bob, are you in need of a guide or somebody who is good at tracking?
How did you know?
Oh, well, I travel from tavern to tavern here in Moston, and I ask for people who need help. I like to help people. But guiding and tracking and the land, that's really my thing.
Oh, well, that was fortunate. You have very trustworthy eyes. Can I trust you?
I would like to think so, yeah.
I actually came seeking a guide.
Well, you've come to the right person.
I'm seeking a man, a gnome, rather, just kind of like me. He's probably just as old. He serves a powerful fiend, and I'm afraid of what he could do and do to others. And I'm trying to put a stop to that. Do you think you might have information?
Well, tracking fiends is not a thing that I've done before, but if the money's right, I guess I could give it a shot.
I woefully rub some of the scrapes that I've gathered over the last year and say, well, in either case, I think I could use some assistance. It's been a little rough here.
I've only been here for a year. I know how hard it can be in this place.
Ooh. What brought you? Just in search of work?
Well, really, it's a long story. The short of it is I had a friend drop me off here, my only friend. He dropped me off in the area and he says, this is where your destiny is, and someone will ask you for help. So I've been helping people ever since. And that's kind of the long and short of it.
Well, I'm sorry to be forward, but I believe I'm the one that you've been sent to help. Someone sent me on this way. The Knights of the Shield. I paid good money for their aid. They told me that I could find a guide of eyes of amethyst. Can never say that word.
Lean in and be like, well, I hope you're the person that I'm looking for, because I've been waiting for a really long time.
Okay. What are your costs? How much will I owe you?
Well, I guess we'll just my rate is usually 5 gold a day for tracking and stuff like that, but it sounds like you're looking for a longer chunk of time. I guess we'll just kind of figure out the details.
Okay.
Normally it's like a bear is attacking my house, or there is I don't know where this wolf pack is and I need help with this wolf pack and stuff like that, or I've lost my daughter and the daughter's run away and stuff of that nature.
If you're helping two people, do they both have to pay 5 gold a day?
Well, are they asking for the same thing?
Mr. Peppers? Yes, he's asking for the same thing.
No, you don't have to pay for the rabbit. It's okay. Please, just like 5 gold a day for a job.
Okay. He likes you. Would you like a carrot?
She will take a carrot. She will eat it. Thank you.
Okay. Well.
So, Sikander, are you have agreed to help Bope on his quest?
I believe I have.
Okay. Bope, where does you had got a sending not too long ago inviting you to the naming ceremony of from House Call in the Elser Vale at the town of Brindle. Time is getting short. You either need to start traveling there or you're going to have to use magic.
Well, Tig, you know, the trail that I've tracked thus far has pointed to some dangerous areas, and I was hoping to go back and see some of my friends as well. Do you think you could come with me? And there's going to be a party. I would still pay.
A party? I haven't been to a party on this side of the world yet, so that should be really fun. What kind of party is it?
Oh, it's the nicest man. Oh wait, no, he died. There's another guy named Quentin, and he got married with Lady Carl of Brindle, and apparently they've had a child. And I'm sure it's for tax purposes, but but they're having the naming ceremony, and I have the ability. I mean, I know that's like 1,000 miles away or something, but I can get us there, lickety split, if you're done with your carrot.
It's like the carrot has already been devoured at this point. Like one pop into the mouth, gone.
Yeah,
I can go. I carry all of my belongings on my person conveniently. It's the best for the trekking and whatnot. So I'm ready to go whenever you are. I just got to go pay my tab.
Perfect. Right, and I pick up Mr. Peppers and slide him into the front inner pocket of my robe, where he is safe thus far.
That's so cute.
And I pay both of our tabs.
Oh, I thank you.
You were not here long. It barely reaches a gold sort of pocket change.
Mm-hmm.
And heading out, where are you? Are you casting your spell?
Yeah, so I would guess I don't know how uncouth it is to make a teleportation circle in the middle of town. So
do you have to make the circle? I thought you just were keyed to it.
So I have to use 50 gold worth of rare chalks and inks, which I have purchased.
Ooh, okay.
I purchased enough for 3 uses, so this will be the first.
Would you like to make more before you leave?
Sure.
All right. They have lots of chalk around here.
Yeah. Who knows where we're going?
Caravans like using it for like chalking wheels to make sure that the cart hasn't moved for suspicious reasons. Mm-hmm. So there's plenty of chalk to be had here.
So I don't anticipate using it every day, so I'll just get another 50 gold worth. So I'm up to 200 gold's worth, and we'll subtract 50 from that. So
a lot of chalk.
It is a lot. I have a lot of pockets, but I'm weighed down.
Are these magic pockets?
No, they're not. I just have a lot of pockets.
Okay. I had 50 gold pieces worth of chalk. I think the sack might be as big as you.
Oh, I do have a bag of holding.
Okay, there's the magic pocket.
Sorry.
I was wondering.
I keep my spell components in all the pouches, the pockets, so I can just, whip them out. But,
all right, so you got one bag of chalk disappears into the bigger bag of chalk.
And then
Sikander can find a flat rock for you nearby.
This is the first test of your tracking abilities. Find a rock.
Find us a nice flat rock.
Yes.
And you notice, like, as I'm clearing off the rock, I'm like taking like rocks out, or I'll be like, "Ooh, that's a nice leaf," and I'm like putting leaves in my pockets and stuff.
All right. Bob is going to cast a spell, and it creates a portal that leads elsewhere. Can you see through the portal, Bob?
I don't think so.
Let's just go with this: a fuzzy light, and a light appears in the middle of the teleport circle.
Real quick, we gotta move. 6 seconds.
Are you going, Sikander? Stepping through?
A little bit surprised, like, "Oh, I gotta go now," and just like, whoop.
All right, and we'll come back to you in a moment.
Huzzah!
We're going to go back in time to the morning of the evening that we just watched, and Quentin. Today is the day before the ceremony.
The christening is upon us.
Yes. So this is if your child is about 30 days, this is done. This is done after about 3 days, because that way it's an official ceremony that the kid is going to live, because they have a lot of infant mortality before the advent of modern medicine. And so you do not want to have one. So the tradition has grown up here in Amn and the Ulster Vale that they do this after 30 days, because then they're pretty sure the kid is going to live. And it's a presentation of the child to the community and a recognition of who is the mother and the father. And this is important whenever you are the heir to house call.
Now, has Lady Varasa expressed which deity she wishes him to be christened under?
Well, of course, the most important one, Amantor, at the cathedral here. But we can invite the High Mourner of Kellamvor as well.
How do you feel about Tamora?
We could always use luck. She is very popular here ever since your exploits and that Delirious person who was here not too long ago.
Yes, you see, the thing is, I sent an invitation, several of them, and she wishes to do the christening.
You'll need to work that out with Tredora. I make sure I'm getting that name right.
Yeah, I'll let them sort that out.
Tredora Goldenbrow. Sure, there can be some sort of accommodations, but there's no temple to Timora here, although they are laying the foundations for one.
Yes, promises were made, but they've been a little slow on the uptake.
Yes, I understand they haven't gotten much funding. Perhaps if some wealthy adventurers would donate to it, construction would go faster.
Maybe. We can talk to Deed and Tobias, see what they've been up to. Maybe they'd like to help fund it. It's always good to have more lizard folk here in the city.
Yes, always. Speaking of which, they haven't really responded to our RSVP. Do they not understand what the RSVP means?
That is a possibility, but I'll send out another confirmation, try to get them to see if they're bringing a +1.
We should do that, but that is on the day after tomorrow. Today we have your guests, your friends are arriving, I understand.
Yes, they've all responded back. I got a couple +1s, and really looking forward to seeing them. It's been such a long time, and
well, we must prepare the proper greeting for them, says Lady Varasa. So get the house must be all in order. The servants must be dressed and ready for presentation, and we'll be waiting for them on the steps of the manor. We'll, of course, have scouts out telling us when they're going to arrive. Anything else you'd like to do in preparation? They can stay here, of course. We have plenty of guest rooms.
Well, I thought maybe they would stay at Roth Keep, but you're right, dear. It's much better.
That's like a day's journey to the west. Are you going to make our poor guests walk back and forth?
Of course not.
Quentin, for serious.
I look a little crestfallen, and I just kind of disguise myself so that I'm all dressed up in the proper,
Much better. See, you clean up so well. I'm proud of you. So, come, let us prepare to meet our guests. I think I hear the first one arriving now.
Magical teleport.
The first one to arrive in Brindle is Delirious. Delirious, do you come with an entourage?
No, actually. Delirious does like to travel incognito. However, upon entering your mansion, keep, wherever it is you're living, I do sweep off my traveling cloak and reveal actual proper cleric regalia.
Wow.
And my holy symbol has been freshly polished.
all the servants go, Timora. They all whisper. And you see a little kid look around the corner going, Timora! and then runs off to go tell everybody. The High Lady Luckbringer is here. They're all so excited.
You like it when they call me that.
Isn't
So
your
yes, as
title
this all
here the-
happens on the steps of the Call Manor, where you were waiting, Quentin.
I greet you, the Right Honorable Dolores, and I give you a big hug.
And you still can't say my name right.
Delirious. I believe, yes, says Lady Verasa.
Oh, yes, my lady. And I give an awkward sort of bow curtsy thing.
I'm so pleased that you've been able to come down here. I hope you've had a good, easy journey.
Oh yeah, most people leave me alone, and when they don't, I can get away very quickly. So
Very fortunate skills.
all through my goddess, whom I love dearly.
I have some things I must attend to. Please be welcome, and please talk to Quentin for a bit, and I'm sure you have much to catch up on.
Oh yeah, I guess we do. Thank you.
With her, Quentin. And she leaves.
We can go over to one of the drawing rooms, have a modicum of privacy. Say, have you heard from Dieter Tobias? I sent out RSVPs, but haven't heard back.
Listen, I was giving them sendings all the time, and they actually said, Delirious, leave us alone. You're talking to us. You're smothering us. You. So I had to, stop. I promised to only talk to them once a month.
Have you talked to them this month?
Oh yeah. They're in the middle of doing their king business.
If you wouldn't mind, if you could just check in with them, see if they're going to be attending the christening tomorrow. But
of course.
I do have a gift for you. Something I promised when we parted ways. Snap my fingers, and one of my men bring up 2 parcels.
Oh, don't let it go to your head that people come when you snap.
Hey, I'm a liege, right? I got to live the life. Yeah,
Do you though?
it's all part of the marriage contract. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for that. What in the world is this?
It's about the size of a dragon-toothed dagger. One of them.
Oh. It's so pretty.
Yes. And there's a little list of the enemies of the cult of the dragon in there. Just, think about those when you're wielding it, and it really likes to dig in deep on them.
Oh, okay. Tuck that away and
Yeah.
remove the old dagger and slot in the dragon tooth dagger and just kind of put the other dagger back in my clothing. I can
And
tell.
then the other one is much larger. It's probably about 10 pounds, roughly, circular in size.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pot, a giant, clay pot with some magic symbols on it. Look, I know we can never bring back, Nimble, but I thought this might be something that would interest you. I planted a seed in there, and it's got about a day until it hatches. Just keep it with you, and I think you'll like the results.
Okay. How heavy is the pot?
It's about 10 pounds. It's all, soil.
Okay.
Smells pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Do I have to water it?
It's been watered, and you got about a day left. So, by tomorrow morning, it should.
You
ready.
really enjoy being mysterious, don't you?
I wouldn't say enjoy. It's more of a occupation. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you can't lie to me, Quentin, except for when you do. Awesome. Thank you.
You're
Lyris,
welcome.
with your incredible passive perception, you hear a sound in the distance. It sounds like a low-pitched humming sound, like.
I hear a low-pitched humming sound.
It seems to be coming from outside, and then you hear shouts from various people outside of the manor house.
Like shouts of alarm or excitement?
More like, ooh. The exclamation and surprise might be the type of shouts that how I would classify them.
Probably not
I go to
fire
look at the
giants.
window. Is there a window facing the courtyard in this room?
There is. Is there actually? I'll ask Quentin. It's
Steps.
your house.
Definitely, there is. The
Oh,
courtyard,
there is.
Got to see who's coming to visit.
I go peek around a curtain because I don't want to show my whole face. Because what if I get sniped?
You see coming from the north some sort of object hovering or floating in the air that is slowly getting closer to the city of Brendel.
Does that look alarming to you?
And it looks like some sort of weird sailboat. If it flew and the sails were on the sides instead of on top.
Well, it's not the Countess. Sansuri left a while back. Somebody new.
Oh yeah, by the way, I have a note for you.
For me?
Yeah, I forgot about that one. One of the servants run forward and goes, "Forgive me, sir, I forgot to present this note to you. It came this morning. But Lady Veras's head is so busy, I forgot to give it to you. My apologies, sir. Here, please have it."
Snap my fingers and take it.
All right. Inside is a note, and it was folded to normal size, but it's kind of like something just keeps unfolding until the piece of paper is like a poster board size. And there are notes on it. It says, "Darling, I had a thing. I'm sorry I can't make it. I'm sure you'll understand. I've sent along a mini-me to represent my interests here. Also, Thulin will remain at his garden if you have need of him. Don't let Remskarda get too uppity. I shan't be gone long. Sansuri." Seal.
This is cause to celebrate. She's not going to be here. The christening should go off without a hitch.
Oh,
Praise
that
to Mora.
thing is outside, by the way.
Yeah, we saw it.
No, not that thing. A different thing.
Mimi?
It's Uncle Wrinklenaw here. He's sort of a thing.
He's supposed to come tomorrow. No, it's a statue.
I don't recall ordering a statue, but let's check it out.
You come outside, and standing in the corner of the courtyard, not on the front, is a statue of Sansuri. You can tell she's there with her mask.
Oh, the mini-me.
Her mini-me is the size of an ogre and seems to be carved completely out of stone.
Do you think we're allowed to put like a sheet over it or something? I don't want that watching me.
We'll find a tasteful gazebo there.
Get a mask on.
Yeah, we're gonna. We need to cover that up.
We're going to erect the emergency gazebo.
Okay.
You have
You're going to
emergency
get
gazebos?
a tent, a tarp, and throw over the Sansuri mini-me.
Well, this time of year, the rain showers can be really unpredictable, and I hate it when my cheese plate gets ruined in the afternoon. So yes, I have an emergency gazebo.
Oh my God, you're so bougie.
Yeah, high life.
You don't have one? Well, I can hook you up with one. Down in the gazebo district?
No.
Okay.
No, thank you. No.
Okay.
No.
But I do want to get a closer look at that airship.
And yes, as you've been looking at the Sansuri mini-me, the ship is getting closer. And in fact, it is coming down and looks like it's going steering to land in the manor yard. It looks like a fish now that it's closer, made out of wood, brass, and glass. There's two large windows that resemble eyes on either side of the ship on the front. And the sails are shaped to look like giant fins. And there's another sail that's going right down the center part that would look like the top fin of the ship.
Man, whoever built that has got some style.
And it's kind of, when it comes, low pitch, there doesn't seem to be any propellers. There doesn't seem to be any means of propulsion. It's just kind of drifting might be the way. And it kind of has like a little bit of a sway up and down. Rangrim, are you on deck? Or are you below decks?
No. I'd be riding the it's not the foremast. What is the thing at the prow?
Forecastle?
Does it have a forecastle?
The bow?
The ship is slowly coming down, and as it does so, the fins on the side fold up and come up to the side so that it can land with its round wood belly down onto the grass. And Rangrim, if you're on the forecastle or whatever equivalent this ship has,
throw a rope and just slide on down.
I should get that real quick. And Rangrim emerges. I'll go get a picture. Rangrim, do your introduction.
Oh, everyone. Well, at least two of you.
What's up?
Where's everyone else?
They RSVP'd. They should be here within the day.
Good.
Well, except for Eldon. He said he retired.
Couldn't quite talk the wife into coming, but I have a new traveling companion. She's with the ship.
Oh, do tell.
We'll wait to do proper introductions when she's, I think the word she used is parked.
Okay. Well,
you know, just see the ship is starting to power down as like the caulking between the pieces of wood is normally done by tar in boats. This is done by gold leaf that's glowing. And as it slowly starts going down, the light is retracting back towards the stern of the ship.
Nice. Is this the boat that Sansuri hooked you up with?
It is. This is Ruin. Really?
Are you smuggling in poodles? Because they are outlawed in the Vale.
It's a Halruin vessel crafted by an artificer. It's quite a wonder. I haven't quite seen anything like it.
Me neither.
Does it have a name?
Yeah, it does. I thought of it actually on the way here, and of course I passed it off with Mahira, who you'll meet shortly, but her name is the L'Eclipse Full.
Let's get to spell that later.
Yes, named in honor of our former patron.
Nice. I have two questions for you. Is it armed, and does it have any smuggling holes?
She's got some weapons. Yeah, I think they got a light catapult and a ballista on her hull, or at least on the deck. She's got a small crew.
Oh! One sticks his head up, and you recognize it as a kobold. Oh! He waves at you frantically from the top of the ship. And then another kobold sticks its head up. Ah! And you recognize these kobolds from earlier, the ones you saved.
Wait a minute. Are these
the dragon fears!
The Reaching Woods guys?
How did you pick up these kobolds?
I didn't. They came with it. It's I don't question always what happens.
Did they tell you how we met?
I think they've tried. It's been complicated to get them to actually sit down and put string words together.
We killed about a quarter of their number and then freed the dragon that had been like magically enslaved by this corrupted green fungus. And then we spared them all.
That is it.
Yeah.
We were all gonna die. This is much better.
And I guess technically,
epaulets. And you can see they got like little
Uniforms.
One of them even has like little gold tassels, which on the sleeves, and the rest of them have like blue and white striped shirts on.
They're so cute.
I love these guys already. They helped us out with the Fey Market fight there. We let them go. We called for their help, and we even made them like honorary members of the Velkyn Weave. Which
you all went to the Fey Market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to tear Pixie's wings off.
I'm sure we have time again some another day for that. But yeah, no, we flew by the Wrath Keep first on our way here. You know, it's about an hour's flight back that way, and no one was there, so we came this way.
We've been getting it into readiness to be sold, so it currently doesn't have anything but a skeletal staff, so to speak.
Was, I suppose, it is difficult to maintain a place like that if one is traveling, or if one is the lord of whatever of the area, right?
Yeah. Well, look, if I don't get rid of this thing, I'm never going to financially recover. Okay. You know how many people you need to employ to keep that thing? And they have very strict laws on the books here about employment and making sure that you feed them properly. It's incredible. And
Yep. So
I salute them
difficult
for it.
to keep people alive.
Isn't that the
What a
point of
nuisance.
making a place self-sustaining?
Hey, I improved it, okay? Like Eldon and me and the seeds that we stole from the giant ship. Look, I've got a plan here. And
Wait,
there are
what seeds did you steal from a giant ship?
well, they were given to me actually. Let me correct my statement for the record.
It's a little bit of both. Stole, given.
But the crop has come in, and I think you will love the refreshments at tomorrow's christening.
As long as there's no red fruits.
There's a variety, I'm sure.
Oh, there have been some red fruits, and there were some blindings in learning to properly pierce the skin and lance them of the juice.
Yeah.
They're recuperating, though. We've been told by the best of the clerics in the area that they'll regain their sight.
Many a chef failed and was thrown off the cloud giant keep. So
the juice is delicious, though. It's the temporary blindness for 1 to 3 months that really gets you.
Now that the ship has parked, as it were, or come to dock, the coming down the gangplank from the airship is a woman, very obviously from not around these parts. She is dark olive skin, dark black hair, which fades into bits of gold at the very end of it. She is just bedecked in jewels with like a kind of a diadem sort of bit that goes around her neck, around her head, around her neck, all sorts of bangles up and down. And are any of you trained in history?
yes.
Rangram
No.
All right, it's an auto get if you win. Everyone else can go ahead and roll. It's auto if you have it trained. Go ahead and do a history check as this woman in a unusual garb that has lots of flowing silks.
Did you hire a pirate?
Maybe no.
Which is totally fine. I just feel like I should know.
Everyone, or at least
Everyone. Let's start with you. Bope, what'd you get? Actually, no, Bope's not there.
I was like,
Delirious, what'd you get?
15.
You, okay, you were good. And Quentin.
Get a 9.
Delirious,
to you.
you recognize this as the garb of a Hauruan artificer,
This is
Cool.
Mahira.
which,
This is her
Yes.
handiwork.
good morrow, new friends. I am glad to be here with you.
Glad to have you, and my goodness, you're just covered in gold.
Yes. It is the most conductive of the elements, good for moving magic from one space to the other. I am Mahira. What might you be called?
Oh,
Look at
I'm,
you, Delirious.
I'm Delirious, the local cleric of Timora, except no substitutes.
It is my good fortune to make your acquaintance then.
I see what you did there.
This must be the master of the house, our host.
Liege Quentin Call, yes.
Ah, 1,000 blessings upon you and your kin, and of your young one that we are here to celebrate.
Thank you.
I have been asked by Lady Sansuri to assist you in what ways I can. and to provide the services of the airship.
That's
However,
too kind.
I do have a request that I would like Rangrim to pass on to you to retain those services beyond this trip.
Yes, something, of course, for discussions outside of the courtyard, but it is compensation, of course, and that talk is best kept for more private circumstances.
The walls have ears here. Perhaps when Bope arrives, we can continue this conversation.
Speaking of Bope, thank you for that transition. Bope, you and Stagander, it is Stagander, right? Appear, poof, inside of a crypt. And you can tell it's a crypt. It is modeled after every crypt you've ever seen, complete with Gothic pillars, arched roof. Actually, no, this place is totally Romanesque. It's got curved arches, stone biers, and for whatever reason, a teleport circle right in the middle of it.
I hope you're not afraid, not allergic to mold. This place is a real fixer-upper, but no one was using it that was alive, so I found this teleportation circle here. As far as I know, I'm the only one who's been here in decades, but it's just outside Brindle. It's just a quick jaunt into the city.
Whatever works for you works for me.
Okay.
Just like looking at the walls and like
Oh,
touching
it's got
stuff.
in loving memory of our dearly departed, our little miracle, and they have all sorts of, this is obvious, they're all related. You see the same word repeated over and over again. It's Tuskerwill, or Tuskerwill, which seems to be the family name of whoever owns this crypt.
As we're heading out, I just look over my shoulder. Thank you, Tuskerwill. Keep going.
The way they is a iron door. You're going to have a big ring and what's your strength over there, Bo?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this part. That's a -1 to my strength.
Alrighty. Usually you and the rabbit have to pull together to get this open. Stagander, what's your strength?
-1.
Oh,
all right. So this takes a little bit longer and a lot more awkward than you thought it would be. As a lot of you have to all put your backs into it, and
I cast
pull.
enlarge on Stagander just so we could get out.
And me?
That'll do it.
Like a
Okay,
foot
so how
up
long
on
does
the
that
side.
last?
A minute.
A minute. Okay. And you come out and you find yourself on a very pleasant Myrtle. Is it Myrtle? Yeah. Early Myrtle day in northern Om, and you recognize that you are in the graveyard of this town of Brindle. And you can see the little shrine to Kelimvor over there on the far side. You can see the cathedral to Amantor, and then beyond that, the manor, Call Manor, where you were supposed to go meet your good friend Quentin.
come on, I'll show you the way. Really
All right.
nice people.
The little gnome hurries off, led by the big lumbering drow. It is bright out here, by the way, Stagander.
Oh,
I got my hat.
There's no shade anywhere. Like Mossstone was under the eaves of the Wheeldoth, which was old growth forest and was kind of comforting. This is like 1,000 needles stabbing into your skin.
So Stagander takes out, she's got a wide, flat-brimmed hat that she wears. It's like a dark brown. She like sticks out on her head, and she's just like as much as of her skin as she can get underneath this hat. She is very much hiding under it.
ooh, that looks painful. I'm not super sure how physics work, but if I cast invisibility on you, does that mean the light is not reflecting off of you and therefore is not triggering?
I'm pretty
this
sure it
pain?
doesn't work like that.
Have you tried?
Unfortunately. Actually, yes.
Oh, okay. Very well.
Since a minute has passed, her enlarge wears off, and she goes back to being normal size.
Well, excuse you. Did you
I
make
should
that noise?
not do the enlarge spell to begin with.
On
It's
the on the way to the keep, I would like to take an arrow out of my pouch and like I pull a ribbon like off of one of my braids and I'm like winding it with like some what looks like herbs and leaves on this arrow. I am making a gift because I didn't bring anything to this party and I have no idea who anybody is.
Okay, done and done.
Cool.
Well, the two of you quickly work your way through, and you hear rumors everywhere. Did you hear? The Lady Luckbringer is here. Oh, my heavens. She's come to bless our new temple that we're building for Timora. And sure enough, just off of Cathedral Square, opposite the shrine to Kelemvor and the Cathedral to Amantor, they have another spot all staked out, and they're working on the foundations for a new temple. And there's even a little chart there with like the thermometer that fills up with red as they get the money in order to build the temple to Timora. They're a little short. This is going to take a while.
I'll drop a copper in the pot as we walk.
And they have a big sign up there that says Mason needed.
Is there a gold tally? Like, what's the top of the thermometer? How much do they need to get this baby built?
Temple.
Well,
Handbook.
Life goals, you know.
Fortunately for me, I got a book here that has this information in it.
Depends what quality.
Page 128, I believe.
Marble? Are you stucco? I mean,
Substandard limestone from a quarry.
A temple is, well, a good-sized one, like the one that they're building next door, is 50. The Cathedral of Amantor is 50,000.
Can sell the
And
airship.
scale down from there. So a normal shrine would be a normal size temple would be 25,000. If you want to get to like roadside shrine, we're probably talking 5 to 10,000.
We can put our heads together later and see if we want to help.
Okay. And you, so everyone's whispering about the High Lady Luckbringer's town. And then you hear other whisperings, Pope, about, there was a fish in the sky. I saw what I did. It floated in like a current. Oh, who caught that? What do you do to fish a sky fish?
Ooh,
But when you get to Cole Manor, you realize that their rumors were right. There's a giant sky fish sitting in the yard.
Wonders.
And you see some friends. So please, as you approach Bope, you see Rogander, Delirious, and Quentin all there.
Oh, Delirious. Delirious. I saw the temple that they're working on.
Oh, yeah, you saw that.
Yes, I contributed so I could put that.
No,
in
they're
practice.
building a temple to Timora. It's nice.
It's
You
really
don't
more.
approve of Timora, Rengrim?
She's as good as all the rest of the gods, yeah.
It's really more of a charitable write-off. Nobody here thinks that it's going to get built. The odds are actually being against it being completed in the next 5 years.
That's not acceptable.
Okay, so how many insurance policies did you take out on it?
Tomorrow, the christening. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Bope?
Congratulations, by the way. Thank you for thinking of me.
Who's your friend?
Oh, of course. How rude. Look up. This is Stigander. She's a wonderful guide that I met down far to the south in Tethir? Tether? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Tethir.
From where? In
Teth.
Tethir.
I'd like to point out that I am staring like at the ship. Like I got my hands on both sides of my hat and I'm just like looking at this ship very appraisingly.
You notice that saying next to the ship is that the woman dressed in silk and jewelry who's kind of staring at you, studying you.
Give her a wink. That's all I got.
She can do the eyebrow curl like Stephen Colbert, the eyebrow raise like Stephen Colbert that I can't do, and hers goes whoop.
In Undercommon, I speak to you. Did the family send you?
What? Whose family? I forgot my accent. Whose
Oh,
family?
you were speaking in Undercommon, so there was no accent.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Family?
Yes, my family. Are you here for them? Did
I don't know.
Binari Looms Prize send you?
I don't know your family. I don't know who any of you are. I'm with the little one. I
Okay.
point to Bo.
Let's see how it is.
Oh, you're the one who had the he said it was a christening. It's a christening, right?
We lost the GM.
GM.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Gone forever. We drove him off already.
This was a record. Yeah.
Actually, we might have driven off a GM quicker than this before.
Well, the weather, has been acting up lately. The Nimbus has been around.
Yeah.
Thunder and lightning.
Countess Sansuri sends her regards.
Wow. I mean, wow. She already took insult at the name that I gave the ship.
Maybe she took insult at the tarp we put over her.
Yeah, that could have been it.
No, it's not a tarp. It's a gazebo, a very tasteful gazebo.
Okay,
No,
it was like a curtain.
Only the finest canvas.
I mean, if you read the name, yeah, it's I got it. I got a chuckle out of it. It's not a direct translation. It is
What does it translate to roughly?
the Mad Woman.
Nice.
Nice. That is a good name for a ship.
But when you say the ship name, do you always think of it in like the full name, or do you have like a nickname that you kind of say to yourself, like the Eclipse or something?
I don't know. Would Eclipse or would Full work better? Because Eclipse by itself is just the Eclipse, so that's simple enough. Full's the problem one. Full is the one that if you separate it, it means something different.
Smash it down to the Eclipse.
But continuing in Undercommon.
Okay.
So, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Liege Quinton Call, and I didn't get your full name.
Oh, my liege. Stigander's gonna give like a really nice bow. And she's gonna like offer out the arrow that she was working on.
Oh, why? Thank you.
If you hang it over your child's like sleeping basket, it will bring good luck and prosperity. I did dent it a little, so it's not quite as stabby.
How
But I'm
thoughtful.
Stigander. My friends call me Tig. I only have two friends that call me Tig, and that's that one and a friend from before.
Well, perhaps someday we'll be friends. Until then, Stigander, please enjoy yourself here. And should my family ever contact you, I would love to know.
I still have no idea who you're talking about.
It's best we keep it that way.
Okay. I'll lean down to Bob. Your friends are really confusing. They think I know things that I don't think I know.
Quentin's very mysterious.
Rangram, I have something for
It'd
you.
be mysterious.
What?
Snap my fingers and have one of my guys bring up. It's
Again
a
with the
packet.
snapping.
It's a bad habit I picked up over the last year, but it's wrapped up in the finest of twine and paper, and there's a lantern inside.
Rangram looks at it.
It's got little dragons lit on it.
You know, if you snap at me, I'll break the fingers, right?
I wasn't snapping at you.
I know. Just going.
I would never snap at you,
Okay.
Captain Rangram. It's a lantern of detection of dragons.
And we're back.
And then I wasn't there anymore.
A lantern of detect what?
Dragons.
Oh.
Because
I-
dragons are hard to detect.
Well, if you're flying through cloud cover or it's the blackest of night, you'd like a second or two warning before they come crashing onto.
Really, they make that big whooshing sound. That
Not all the time. we've really had some bad luck while trying to
They got
fly and
those.
evade dragons.
They got those human forms too. They can be sneaky if they want.
But I thought you could use it for your airship.
Yes, I think I will have one of the kobolds mounted. It's a great addition. Thank you.
There's actually a little interesting history about this lantern. It was actually a creation of a moon elven kingdom, Sharvin, in the High Forest. And the dragon riders there actually used it to find downed dragons. But I think maybe we'll use it to evade them.
Or find them.
Sure.
Do you guys come across dragons quite often?
Yes.
More often than I'd care to count.
We killed, what, about 5 really big
Something
ones?
like that.
About a year ago?
One
in a
wasn't
day.
really a dragon.
2 days. It took us, about 2 days.
One was a bee here, right?
Yes.
One was a
that's
bee
right.
here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Close
kind of point across to the Wormsmoke Mountain off to the west a little bit. Way up there, the fane of Tiamat.
Now
Tiamat?
hallowed by Tamora's holy power.
What's that?
Tiamat?
Yeah.
The name doesn't register at all.
Oh, like Queen of Dragons, evil, wants to...
It's probably for the best if she doesn't know.
It doesn't ring a bell, unfortunately.
No, that's fortunate.
Yeah.
It's an evil god. Keep
Look
going.
like she's a scourge. I'd like to know what I gotta do to stay away from her.
Don't go to
No.
the astral plane.
Don't go to hell. No, she's in hell.
Well, she had to
Got
stop
it.
over in the astral plane, but who knows where she's at now?
Hope your friends are crazy.
Hey, well, Delirious is really nice. Tibor is really nice too.
Sometimes
Very benevolent,
I mean, you think
when
it's
she
crazy.
wants to be.
forgiving.
You think it's crazy, but so he takes looking at Rangrim. Rangrim's a dwarf, but he's actually taller than her.
You're the
It's all
biggest damn dwarf I've ever met.
It's all torso. Still got little stubby legs.
That rune magic, it's some weird and wacky stuff.
Yeah.
5'8" dwarf.
Laws of nature.
A 5'8" dwarf.
She's taller than me.
I'm only
Seriously.
an inch taller than you.
The same. Hey, we're the same height.
Lady Verasa comes by. And she goes, "Oh, you've all welcome. You've all made it. We welcome. Speaking of which, there's going to be some entertainment this evening. Valorian over at the Playhouse, Valorians, has written us a play for us in celebration of your great deeds and the birth of Quentin's child and mine. If you would go, please make yourself presentable and make your way to the Playhouse. Forthwith, we'll move this along. Quentin.
Yes. There's rooms here if you need to change, and we can meet down there. And I assure you, I had nothing to do with the crafting of this tale. Okay.
Lady Call, as delightful as I remember.
Oh, Bope, it's wonderful to see you. How have you been?
Better than you last saw me. When
Oh,
I
that's good. You were in bad shape.
Yes, it was not a good look.
Bad, handsome.
Not mutually exclusive. Apparently.
And how is Mr. Peppers?
Oh, still kicking. Yes, he's a little off carrots though. He's been going more for spinach.
Well, we're gonna have some wonderful treats for tomorrow. I've seen the bill. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Anyway, come, you must get ready for this play. I understand it's going to be quite the thing.
Who wrote this play?
Valorian.
We're about to
What does
find out.
Valorian look like?
She is the I guess you haven't met her. Things were kind of crazy. She is the owner of the Playhouse, is Lady of Verasa, half-elven woman, very into her craft. And she's been doing interviews for the past year and piecing things together. And Quentin has been quite helpful in providing information. So if there's any inaccuracies, you can blame Quentin.
How interesting.
We should probably be moving along. This play is going to start sharply on time, I'm told.
Okay. And Lady Verasa moves on, and servants appear out of nowhere, as they're wont to do in the call manner, and see you to rooms where you can change and take your ease and refresh yourself in preparation for a night at the opera. I mean, at the Playhouse.
Oh, Dolores, tell me, how has your year been? What have you been up to?
Oh goodness. I have been talking to people about Timora and making sure they're not, creating new Timora heresies like that one guy who suckered in Deaton Tobias. If I ever find that person, I'm going to smack him good. Yeah, just communing with my goddess.
Okay. Did you go back to Waterdeep?
A little bit, yeah. I made sure things were nice and tidy back there. Had to smack around some gangsters, not children. I can just hear Rich somewhere out there. No, I had to smack around some gangsters who were eyeing my kids. But it's all set.
Well, they're lucky to have such a benevolent matron such as you. Matron is not the right word there. I'm sorry for impersonating your goddess again. Just please forgive me.
Is the orphanage all squared away?
Yeah.
Not shaky
for
ground?
the moment.
Good.
No current crises.
Well,
all right then. Anything else, Quentin?
No, I think
you ready for a play?
I am. I was born for this. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I'm looking forward to it. So to let everyone know what we're about to do, the play is about the Red Hand of Doom, which was the what happened in last season's games. So I have asked the players to tell me, the new DM, what happened in play form. So I have no idea what they're going to tell me. The next part of this is completely up to the players to fill me in and lay it in on what has gone before. But this is probably a good place for me to go gird myself. So to get maybe a refresh on the coffee and some water. So I'd like to take a quick break real quick. Don't forget to ask character questions by typing in question in all caps, followed by your question and which character is directed to. And we will answer up to three questions. 1, 2, 3, 5, 3 questions when we get back.
And everyone, really quick, the best way to support the cast and crew and also get really useful perks, awesome content, is the Games Tavern Patreon. The latest updates include behind-the-scenes content, early access to the interviews from the Games Tavern Happy Hour, miniatures paint plans from That Mini's Paint Show, and battle maps and plug-in encounters for your games. Just check out patreon.com/thegamestavern, all one word. Get your hands on this amazing content. Josh.
And as a reminder, we do have a giveaway tonight. Just type in !epic in the Twitch chat to enter, and you could win an epic character generator to create realistic avatars of your characters. So we'll be back in just a few short minutes.
Hi, it's Reed from Whiskey Magic and Destruction, here to tell you about That Mini's Paint Show, every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific. On That Mini's Paint Show, we're going to paint miniatures every Sunday, showing you how quick and easy it is to paint miniatures to a high standard for your tabletop, and these are the same miniatures we will be using on stream. In addition to that, we'll have guests, and audience questions and participation is awesome and expected. So be sure to tune in, ask your questions about painting, and have a great time with us. We'll see you on That Mini's Paint Show, only on the Games Tavern Network.
And welcome back, everyone. So we have some questions, I understand. Who has the questions? Questions.
I think our first question is, if Bope wasn't part of the party or wasn't a member of the party, who would our mascot be? And that'd be very difficult. It's very hard to replace Bope. You know, he must
the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Wow, maybe. He's very iconic, and the Save Bope hashtag Save Bope has followed us around for all 3 seasons now. I know in a close second would have been Eldon's hat, but that's no longer the case.
Whale.
I feel like we're going to make friends with something that's going to win over our hearts and the audience hearts, and that would just become a natural mascot. It's just a matter of time.
Sansuri's Mini-Me!
Get it out. Just stop.
We got to chop off the head so we can carry it with us, right?
Need more gazebos. Was there another question?
Yes, the other question is, what is the name of the airship? A little slower. I know we kind of got through it. The name of the ship is L'Équipsful. And it basically roughly translates, because a direct translation won't do it justice, but
It's like an idiom.
yeah, of the maddening woman. Which if you watched season 2, you would understand.
The Countess.
You named after her. She's touched.
She is
Takes all
In
touched.
many ways.
Okay. So when we last left off, the party was all glammed up and ready for a night on the town of, that is, Brindle, which is it's a pretty big town, about 8,000, 10,000 people, somewhere there. Not Waterdeep, but they do have enough to have a nightlife and have a playhouse, which is Valorian's. Let me make sure I am spelling that right. Yes, Velkyn, who has it is kind of, the theater is built the same way as Shakespeare's Globe. So it's kind of in the round with the stage being on one side and the rest of you sitting on stage bleachers and also fancy seats on the other side. And then there's the groundlings who fill the middle. Sometimes they use that for demonstrations and magical demonstrations, other possibly duels, symposiums. But for now, it's set up for a play. The lanterns are all lit. The candles are blazing. It is a pleasant a late spring day or evening, as the sun is slipping down towards the horizon, making for the hour of twilight, which is the perfect time to start a play. As the small orchestra that they have of 4 people starts to play the music to get everyone to let them know it's time to sit. They don't have the cannons like they did in Elizabethan London to set off and occasionally set fire to your theater, but instead they use horns. And the music goes down, the crowd hushes, and the curtain comes up. And who is telling the first part of our tale?
Quentin is.
Quentin! So, set the stage for us.
So a halfling lad, of which there's 9% of the population here in the city, steps out, and he's wearing a large, oversized hat, very reminiscent of Eldon's, with a big piece of straw. But he's got a very exaggerated accent. I'm just a plain, simple halfling. And he goes on telling about how he brought together the Velkyn weave, changing the narrative from Doliris to himself in bringing the party together last season to deliver a wedding invitation and gift to the Ghost Princess, and regales how they trudged through the swamp. I think the Evermores is mentioned, and he just plays up the accent and the big hat, going for laughs.
The audience eats it up. They're snickering like, "Yeah, that was Eldon. Oh yeah, he's my favorite." And you see some halflings are high-fiving or low-fiving each other over there.
Too.
And he even makes reference to, being a halfling from Brindle. The narrative has changed a little bit, and now it's, the halflings of Brindle who were involved.
You rule, Hen! You rule! Audience participation seems to be kind of a thing in Brindle.
But in the story, the information does unfold that Deet and Tobias, the lizard folk, and Yanti were met in the swamp and, kind of befriended the Velkyn Weave. And there they made it to the Ghost Princess's walking tower in the swamp. And from there, made it up to Lynn Armal, the cloud castle of Countess Sansuri. Bope?
Yeah, and as that happens, the halfling skitters back into the corner as you hear like a rumbling of tin sheets and to simulate thunder, and you see a big straw dragon that's painted blue. Just it's ugly, but it comes out, and you just hear through a horn like, "Roar!" And the narrator says, "And at this time, the wedding of Sansuri was attacked by the Red Hand, led by a giant ancient blue dragon named Azamenzen." And the blue dragon just sort of swoops around the stage a little bit. You can see there's like two people holding sticks that are holding up this blue dragon. They kind of like trip on each other. The dragon hits the ground, but then like, oh, and they try to piece it together. One of the wings is falling off. And then
Dorian shakes her fist. Don't do that. You're wrecking my play.
And at that point, there's people with shields and a garb of the Red Hand standing aside, just sort of clanging them together. And then the Velkyn Weave made their way deeper into Linar Mall and found the what's his name? Something disaster, Felgalas.
Flying disaster.
The flying disaster, Felgalas. A young, ancient brass dragon being held against his will, and they set him free, breaking his bindings. And knowing that they couldn't get out alone, they jumped on his back and flew through the tiny hallways somehow out into the open air, where they saw an airship with even more Red Hand people descending upon Linar Mall. And before they left, they made friends with Tholen, the younger brother of Countess Sansuri.
Get a guy on stilts for this. He's painted kind of blue, and
exactly.
Looks like a mop wig that they just kind of dumped on top of him.
And he says, "Go in peace," and gives them all seeds to take with them to remember me by, and fly their way down to escape the Red Hand attack. Lincoln.
And here the narrative changes. Now they're like in a glade on the ground, and Felglas mentions that he had overheard that Countess Sansuri was seeking out powerful dragon magic, and that he suggests that perhaps we could find it. And it's kind of one of those fellowship moments when the Velkyn Weave all puts their hands in. Yes, we will seek out this dragon knowledge, and they swear to find it. And then they teleport and appear at Drellin's Ferry, and yay!
The Drellin's Ferry contingent scene over there on the left. There's only 4 of them.
Yeah.
And
they're tiny but mighty.
This is like
punch above our weight.
This is one of those big choreographed action scenes recounting the Velkyn Weave cutting through hobgoblin after hobgoblin, defeating a hydra, and meeting up with Uncle Jorah and his hounds until
Hydra, they have like 2 guys both with hydra heads on their hands, and they're like standing one in front of each other, and they're doing this.
Yeah. Until they get to Vrath Keep. And at Vrath Keep, this is like the culmination of the action scene is when Doliris uses her mighty Tamora magics and transforms one of the hobgoblins into a whale, dropping it and crushing the rest of his cohorts.
Every time she uses magic in this play, they have a megaphone in front of and they roll dice, so you can hear the clackety clack that gets echoed out throughout the entire playhouse.
That is what Timora's magic sounds like. Clickety clack clack.
But anytime they have Delirious do her magics, they do get your phrases right. It's accurate to whatever you say.
Invocations.
Well, they call it magics. But you're right.
Close enough.
Magic. They workshopped it and they found out that invocation really didn't scale well with the groundlings. So, yeah,
This
changes
point,
were made.
At Vrath's Keep, they discovered plans by the Red Hand to take over Elsevier Vale. Oh, oh, oh.
No, I live there! Someone shouts.
But we were able to drive the Wormlord Koth from Vrath Keep and take the plans with us to back to Drell's Ferry, where we could warn them that A, B, C, you guys are next, you're going down. And we staged an evacuation and a plan to destroy the hobgoblins. At this point, there's a little procession of people with goblin ears, and we just sort of knock one down, and we wait, and we knock another one down. And then we gathered up some forest giants to help. And at this point, what's his name? Narklenaw. He calls out, "Yep, I was there." And then we staged a big. What happened at the bridge? Anybody?
Eldon took out the green dragon.
Well, he turned into a spider, a large, hideous, hairy spider. There's just like a dog that someone put like spider legs on. And they just let the dog run across the stage.
A green dragon had perched itself upon the bridge, guarding it for the army to pass. Eldon, in all of his arachnid bravery, sneaks underneath and is able to smash out the supports of the bridge, causing it to collapse, blocking the way. But in that, then a chase ensues with the dragon hot on his heels as they Monty Python around. Not Monty Python.
Benny Hill?
Benny Hill around.
Okay.
Showcasing the incompetence of the dragons.
The audience eats this up. They are laughing uproariously. Their knees slapped, bellies ached, and just guffaws given.
And then the journey of the Velkyn Weave takes them to the Star Song Elves, and a new backdrop comes up. It's very blue. There's a silvery crescent moon. Some clouds roll in, and then some acrobatic dancers flip onto the stage. You know how like you've seen those pictures of cats with like their faces pushed through bread? Well, these not the elves. The actors have pushed their faces through these like giant silver stars. And they're just like flipping and dancing around the stage. This is a musical now. So they're singing about how they had to leave their homeland and now they're, being beset by lizard folk and who will save them? And then in flies the Velkyn Weave on their, flying carpet. Nimble may he rest in peace. and they all, pick on Renyan as the one who will wield their great artifacts, but Renyan says, no, it is not time for me to pick up the arms and armor of your people. First, we must free you from the lizard folk. So then, and everyone's still singing. Then the Velkyn Weave gets back on their carpet, and they're flying across the swamps. And then a dragon swoops down, and Renyan draws his sword and has this amazing solo song about bravery and dragon slaying and stuff. And then, still singing, he leaps off of the carpet attached to some wires. Sword pointed down, still singing as he's falling towards the dragon, and then he skewers it with his sword and goes, aha! And again, still singing, we make our way, the Velkyn Weave makes their way to the keep, where the treasure is, and they encounter Sarvith, who has seen the error of his ways, and he pledges to serve the Velkyn Weave if only they will take him from this place, because he knows that he has done evil and he wishes to do better. And the Velkyn Weave finds the phylactery of a very powerful lich, and there's some light and some as they hold up the phylactery. And then and at this moment the lizard folk come out of the swamp as the hobgoblins are fleeing from the shining party of the Velkyn Weave in this phylactery they found, and Doliris comes up and she does a mass conversion of all of the lizard folk to the glory of the goddess of luck, Tymora.
I feel like during that fight, Bope, I don't know if we have like front row seats, but Bope was just
yes,
shaking his little fist like, yeah, give him a little 1-2, Radiant. And at this point, the stage gets dark as a giant lion, it's maybe human size, but a lion, paper mache lion gets wheeled onto the stage. And the narrator says, the Velkyn Weave recovered the phylactery and the plots of the Red Hand to blackmail the Lich Ghost Lord of the South. And having recovered the item of blackmail, they took the phylactery to him in his demesnes of the lion, what was it called? Necropolis. And within, they found the monks of the Hobgoblin monks, who saw reason because Quentin is very
Persuasive,
and decided to join us in our fight against the Red Hand. And within, the Ghost Lord was very appreciative and bestowed many gifts. At this time, Bope is like turning red and kind of leaning back. The
Ghost Lord is still alive. Whispers are going around there. He still haunts his old place. It does look like a lion, someone says. No, it doesn't. It looks like a duck. It's a lion. Duck.
And
these arguments going on and whispering around you.
a man in a very deep voice just says, I will pledge my undead army not for the Red Hand, but against the Red Hand. You will pay for his crimes against me, and you will not suffer the wrath of my undead army. At this point, in the group of the Velkyn Weave, the child that is played by the Bope that is played by a child sort of like disappears into the background, and out comes whatever the handsomest man is in Brindle, without a shirt and with little fake metal horns, as someone explains that. And Bope was bequeathed the gift of a book of Vecna. Right. He found it. Okay. Which Bope sought as a tool for his own ends in order to find his own quarry, and sought to hide this from the group, but they were too smart, and they decided to keep him around anyway. But as a plus side, he looked absolutely gorgeous, and gained the ability to dominate evil creatures, which will come into play later.
At the end of this, there is a second action sequence when we're leaving the paper mache lined necropolis, the Battle of Three Bridges, where the Hobgoblin monks stood by the Velkyn Weave as the Red Hand Death Squad finally caught up with us on our way back to Brindle. And much fighting was had. Quentin fell, but was brought back up, and in the end, we were victorious and made it back to Brindle.
And at this point is an intervention, as the stage goes dark and the curtain closes, as you can hear things getting wheeled into place. A small intermission for the people. Refreshments are brought out. As this has already been, quite a long, but one expects the intermission's at the halfway point, so there can only be one thing next for everyone to see. And after this intermission is completed, the curtain reels back and the walls of the city gleam in the sun of the lights shone upon them. The music is playing high crescendos as the Velkyn Weave arrives into Brindle for the first time. Hot on their heels in the distance, and you can hear the army of the Red Hand of Doom approaching. A council is held where, of course, all the people in the council are played by exquisite members of society that represent them all well, except for the ones that certain lady call doesn't want represented well.
There's one in particular.
Yeah.
He scratches himself a lot.
And it is here that the Velkyn Weave impresses upon the council the need for both a defense and an offense to be ready to react at a moment's time. And the council agrees is that at least we shall not throw away the lives of the men and defenders in crazy attacks outside the walls, and instead will batter the red hand against them. And then the shaking begins as the music rises further. The battle is commenced. The giants throwing the boulders at the wall. On wires, a giant eagle carries Renyon out onto the battlefield, where he smites 5 hill giants single-handedly. Before placing himself and roaring at the enemy army. Next scene is that back in the town, the Velkyn Weave is administering. Delirious is helping with the wounded. Bope is providing long-range artillery support. Quentin is hawking wares. And Renyon is, again, stoically inspiring the individuals as all the lights are shown upon him. For then a giant shadow crosses across all of the lights. A dragon of immense size, red color, blood dripping from its talons that it had already torn through scores of soldiers as it lands in the center of the city. And of course, the Velkyn Weave responds and charges forth once again. Into that maul each one goes, casting their magics, healing the wounds, throwing their daggers and crossbow bolts, hitting with their sticks. And once more, Renyon's at the front, just right in that dragon's face, trying to keep its attention, trying to keep the flame breath that spews forth from the rest of the party. And he takes it and just keeps going. And after just
People are like,
and once more,
you know what happens.
And once more, the felling blow lands and the dragon lays dead. But not a moment lasts, for yet more waves of enemies come quickly as the Velkyn Weave is able to dispatch them time after time. But then the music turns darker. It starts to grow deep. The lights dim as one of the leaders of the Red Hand step forth. A giant of a man. Goblin? Hobgoblin? I don't remember.
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. And he bellows a challenge. The Velkyn Weave on, Renyon's on his knees. Quentin's breathing hard. Even Bope, in his perfection, has a slight gleam of a glistening sheen of sweat. They all stand. They all face it. They can hear the ringing of the bells, the tolling of the dead, and once more into the combat they throw themselves. Renyon is successful in at least engaging and holding his foes as the rest of the party downs the giants that were with him and the trolls. And in 2 swoops of his blade, again, Renyon defeats this implacable foe. And as he's standing over it, from the darkness, a bolt of pure black pitches through his chest. And he falls first to his knees. Then he looks up. Then he falls back. The music goes quiet. Silence. Then the Velkyn Weave rushes to his side. There is no happy music. There is more bells as the death tolls ring. Resolve fills the Velkyn Weave. Now the sound of music is anger, rage, vengeance. Calls of Ferinian ring out. Gotta be making myself cry.
Renian forever. Renian forever.
The chant spreads through all the audience. Radiant forever, radiant forever.
And is at this, with the defeat of that, the army of the enemy flees. Still so many, but their head has been decapitated. Their will has been crushed. But the Velkyn Weave knows that this mission is not yet done. And you can hear the heroic music pitching up once more as they gain on nimble and head to the fane, to the heart that these forces have created in the Vale, to strike deep at the enemy. First up, right off the bat, 4 dragons of immense size face them off. But luckily, they have their own dragon. And they've got a Bope. Bope's able to control one, turning it to his will. Our Felgalos is engaging another one. We take, I guess, yeah, because there's 4. And then we engage with the, it's not a dragon. What is it?
Here.
The Behir. The Behir. And as that Behir is once more smited upon the rocks of the cliff face on which they face, the other 2 evil dragons are downed. One by Fugalos, who himself is wounded and has to withdraw. The other one by the mind-controlled dragon, which once the control is released is finished off. And into the fane they go, deep down into the ground. The sound of drums begins again. Chanting can be heard. Oh, ye, oh, oh, Forest Tribe. What about Forest Tribe? And they come across, and as they sneak through, trying to keep quiet, as they do not want to disturb, for they are but 5 members infiltrating the lair of the enemy. They cannot hope to deal with it all at once, so they take out bits and pieces here and there, using their guile and their intuition. Quentin successfully and Bope successfully tricking or convincing the enemy of friendliness instead of enemy. Then there's some light flute music as they enter a bedchamber, in which 2, well, they have the masks, or they are very pretty women. But then all of a sudden, after they have singing, they sing a song of enticement, and which then they place masks of devilment over themselves, and the party is engaged once more in close quarters. Bope is half naked. Eldon is half naked. You get some cat calls for Bope, probably.
Probably a well choreographed fight scene. Very.
Yeah, as bodies are basically flying around, using Renyan's shield as a propellant to get Quentin in places. Yes, the fight to engage. But in the background, you can still hear the chanting. The mission is not yet over. Now it's building in crescendo as the Velkyn Weave can sense the end of this mission upon them. They enter the actual ritual room. A giant altar of stone with dragon heads. And there upon the middle is the Worm Lord himself. One would think that the Worm Lord would be a danger, but it's almost anticlimactic as Eldon and Bope rip into him. Renyan lands in front of him and with, again, a single blow, finishes off the head of, finishes off the Worm Lord. And the music starts to rise and victory music is heard and then is immediately crushed by the sound of discordant screeching and nails on chalkboard as a 5-headed dragon appears from above, massive in scale, almost as large as the stale. And it is in that the Velkyn Weave faces off once more until Quentin, from the shadows, leaps upon the creature's back.
And Quentin says, "Tell Lady Call I love her." And he slams his hands together and it flashes and that Tiamat kind of folds in on herself and there's silence.
I guess it was Rangram. Yeah.
Oh, you're muted.
Lady Verasa looks satisfied.
If I said Renyan earlier for killing the Worm Lord, I meant Rangram. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is at here with the dragon gone, suspectedly dead. One thinks they disappearing into the void. One hopes they're dead. No, there is not time to shed tears for Quentin as now the music builds into a nice runaway scene of escaping, like Indiana Jones escaping the Temple of Doom as the rocks fall and everything is starting to collapse in on itself. As Tiamat has been removed from this plane once more, not to return.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
And the Velkyn Weave has to walk back, unfortunately, as one of the last actions that they saw before the Tiamat disappeared into the void was a gout of flame engulfing their loyal
Carpet.
Yeah, name. Nimble?
Nimble, I thought.
Nimble.
Everyone hears Dolores sobbing loudly.
But
like actual Dolores, not actress Dolores.
and it
Actress
is,
Dolores is already putting on her next costume.
and then the Velkyn Weave returns to Brindle, a city in cheers and in recovery. For the army has been defeated, the evil has been slain, the people have been saved. All thanks to the heroics of this great city and all that live in the Vale.
I would point out that the Dwarven mercenaries got snubbed during this entire performance. There was no mention of them riding to the north and participating in the battle. It's like they weren't even there.
I'll be making a note of that. Don't mind me. Alrighty. The play is spectacularly successful. The people love it. There's much cheering. There's much applauding. They're all on their feet. Hey! Lady Verasa's very pleased with how this all went and how her house looks at the end of this. Afterwards, you're all welcome to head across the street to the other one of the taverns they have here, the upscale one in Brindle, and you're the subject of many toasts. Everybody wants to toast the Velkyn Weave and thank you for all that you have done for this city. And you are, you can stay up as late as you want, but I have one other thing. Delirious and Stagandir. You notice in that play that Mahira, the artificer, is watching very carefully.
Who's she watching?
The play.
Uh-oh.
Studying all the actions.
Okay.
Did we give enough credit to Countess Sansuri?
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure that's fine.
Okay. But you guys can stay up as late as you want. It is their drinks are pretty much on the town. They are bringing out the Elvaquist, the Czar, and all the other fancy drinks that they have of the realms. And a lot of congratulations to you, Quentin, and looking forward to the naming ceremony the day after tomorrow. And eventually, you have to go back, stumble back to your beds because you have a full day tomorrow. For tomorrow, you're supposed to meet with all of your bidders for Vrath Keep.
Yes, I didn't just invite you all here for the christening and the naming. There is business tomorrow. But I think if we choose wisely, we'll have some coin in our pocket and leave this place better for it.
Oh, I could use a little coin. A little sparse these days.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about getting the band back together. I've done the whole parent and husband thing here for a while. And I think I really need to get out and do a little adventuring. Maybe we could find some wedding invitations to deliver somewhere, out in the Moonsea, maybe.
Ugh, never doing that again.
You think I brought this ship just so I could get here quickly? Of course. You had me at get.
And, with Eldon retired, we probably need another member.
Oh yeah, I'm paying her.
Speaking of that does remind me. While the ship itself is free, it was the gift from the Countess. Unfortunately, that does not include the operation of the ship. So, Mahira has a price. Well, and the kobolds, but they're all wrapped up in this, so it's pretty easy. The price for her services is that she wants us to commit 10% to her. Well, to the ship. Which includes the payment for the kobolds for their wage and such. She does accept, let me see if I get this right, bangles, jewels, and such bounty of the earth is the way she phrased it. As you feel she deserves. In return, she maintains the ship and also is the power for the ship. Some Hall Ruin magics that even my own rune knowledge is way outclassed by.
That is interesting.
Yeah. She's a little tight-lipped about it, so...
Well, do you know when it comes to finding magic items, is she using Elminster's guides to trinkets or Tardok's guide to magical loot for valuation purposes? If you could ask her.
She uses Aurora's Whole Realms guide.
I was afraid of that.
I take it there's not a very good it's true value versus the undersold value.
I really think we're going to get screwed in this deal, but
I would like to mention that the pilot lady that you're speaking of seems to have quite an interest in your group, as I've noticed.
I would not be surprised if she isn't eyes and ears for someone, but again, you pay for services, and It is quite a unique enough thing that it's going to be quite hard to replace her.
Then hopefully she won't stab you in the back. That's a good idea.
I can
Should
take a few
pay her
stabbings.
well.
I would
Does it
not-
co-
Based upon the magics I have seen that she is using, I would not want to cross her right now. That is for sure.
I mean, that is a pretty sweet ride you got there. I mean, 10% that cover maintenance and upkeep as well. You know, fuel, all that jazz.
She cares for the ship, looks after the kobolds, and powers it. Piloting, of course, as something that I picked up during the year gone. I have taught myself, or I learned navigation, so I'm able to get us wherever we need to go. And with my knowledge of cartography, we'll be able to basically find anything and go anywhere and get our way back.
That's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like adventure is going to be calling.
Oh, bed is calling right now. Tomorrow comes early.
Okay.
And first you have to unload this keep that's weighing you down. Angry
Yes.
place. So, some of you all go back and get ourselves a nice long rest, and whether or not you feel good in the morning, we'll leave up to you. But breakfast is prepared early, and it's mostly continental breakfast because a lot of other people were way toasted last night, and it's slow getting up. So they have a variety of yogurts and cheeses and fruits and granolas and various grab-and-go kind of things from the great buffet table that they have in the dining room of the hall of the manor house. Looking over your invitations that you've sent out, you have received a total of 6 interested parties looking into Vroth Keep. One of the parties, the 7th, were the lizard folk who did not respond to your inquiries. The other 6 are the forest giants, the dwarves of the Hammerfist Holds, the Hin, or the halflings of the Vale, the Kozilmak Mercanti. Kozilmak are a noble, or a merchant prince family, which in the parlance of are Mercanti. Then the Tiri Kator, whom I believe you are familiar with, often known as the Star Song Elves. And finally, another group, noble family by the name of House Zarakul, are also interested. You may meet with them in whatever order you so desire, but they have each sent a representative here to Brindle and are awaiting a chance to meet with you and present their request on why you should give them the writ of crenellation for holding Vroth Keep.
So, you know, I'll share all this information with you, and Straganti, invite you as well, since I could use an outsider's opinion. Somebody who's not.
Stragander.
I apologize.
Stragander. Is that how you say it? Stragander. I don't know how much I can help you in this matter. I've only been in the area for about a year. I don't know very much about the economics of this plane.
I think
That's
what
perfect.
he's trying to say is that you've got a good eye for people.
And an
I do have
outsider's
good
perspective.
eyes.
So, you know, I think we know the forest giants, and they've been there a long time. I don't really know the dwarves that well, but they did answer Tybalt's call to assist. And the halflings, you know, I know of them. I suggest we meet with the halflings first.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty, the halflings are represented by Galadon Rye Thresher, who is from the village of Dath here in Elsevale. Good day, Belige. Good day, all of the Velkyn Weave. Thank you for meeting with me. I represent the interests of the Hin in the Elsevale, and we would like to have the writ for Vroth Keep. the Hin have been contributors here to the town for some time, and we believe that having a place of our own that we can use as the halflings as a place for us to call home would be beneficial to us and a good recognition of the contributions that the Hin have brought to the Airship Vale. We are proposing a turn the Vroth Keep into a combination Traveler's Rest Inn and also Toll House, which is how we will pay for everything to come in and out. And to demonstrate our sincerity, we have brought cookies. And with that, he presents a big platter of Hobbit-made cookies that they intend to make at their toll house that they're going to build.
Nice.
Sharks approve.
So we are, of course, not as we have taken up a collection from the other Hin, and we are prepared to offer 2,000 gold pieces for right up front for the right of credulation, and then we will offer another 1,000 gold pieces each year for the next 5 years in our best wax-wrapped pressed cheese. So 2,000 up front, and then each year you'll receive 1,000 gold pieces worth of cheese futures.
That is a most intriguing offer. And we will consider it most seriously. But of course, we do have many other interested bidders. But we will get back to you forthwith.
Okay.
Did you bring any samples of the cheese?
Swiss.
Oh, of course. A halfling without cheese is not much of a halfling, obviously. And he calls for one of his other sons. He seems to have quite a few, actually, who has sample cheeses, all on little pieces of wood about yay long. They have been carved down with little halfling fingers to be about that big around.
I'm going to need to sample all of this as part of your bid.
It is excellent cheese. Excellent cheese. It is, in taste, I would put it close to Gouda. As I said, it is a pressed cheese, so they've gotten a lot of the whey. They've cheddared it to make it a more solid cheese, as opposed to, and gotten rid of a lot of the water content, which makes for a very strong flavor.
Is this Auroch milk or is it the spider milk?
Auroch, of course. But also, it's a great deal of just good old-fashioned cow's milk.
Well, it's delicious. Thank you for the offer. We will get back to you.
All righty. We heard you've planted a lot of seeds out there. Just think what we halflings could do with all of those giant melons. There'd be pies for days. Oh, the bounty.
I'm potentially housing if you harvest it right.
They tend to go, once you cut the rind of a melon, it just goes downhill very fast. We are halflings all for keeps. Yep. Thank you, sir. You know where to find me. At the bar. Ha ha! And with that, unless you have further questions, Galadin will depart.
After they depart, Rangram leans over. Did Eldon have cheese on him?
What do you
Not
mean?
that he told you about.
Yeah, I assume he had secret cheese that he kept for himself.
Yeah,
Under
Paul
the hat.
Halflings brought cheese, and yeah, he had to have the cheese somewhere.
He may have been holding out. So these Kozilmak Mercanti,
Yes.
I've heard they're quite wealthy, but they can be a bit of a dick. I say we speak with them next.
All right.
The Kozilmak Mercanti are represented by one of their own. Umran has come to see you. Umran is Omnian, and so is dressed with the standard turban-style hat, and then a long coat over top of breeches and a tunic at her waist. She is human. She says, "Good day, Effendi. Thank you for meeting with me. I am Umran Kozilmak. and I am here to make an offer on behalf of my family for Vrath Keep, one that will be mutually beneficial to both you and to us. Are you ready to seize the future and prosperity?
I am.
Excellent.
You have my full attention.
As you know, the Kazumuk family is a shipping company, and we have shipped many goods up and down the coast. But one thing we do not have is a ready supply of wood. In addition to the keep, we would like to have logging rights to all of the timber west of the Elsa River.
Okay. What about the forest giants that live there?
They will be encouraged to relocate. I'm sure we could come with some sort of mutual accommodation with them. Perhaps some goats. I understand they eat owlbears.
Proceed. We were talking gold.
Yes.
Platinum, trade rights.
A great deal of gold. 10,000 gold pieces up front. And then another 10,000 gold pieces each year for 5 years once the ships are built.
Okay, that's a mighty strong offer.
It is. You will not find another like it unless you like cheese. And I do mean really like cheese.
I lean in and I say, I'm lactose intolerant. And I wink at her, give her the nod like, that's a strong offer.
Then you will find our offer most strong. Kazulmak gives its congratulations on you for your newborn and wishes you much health in the future.
Thank you. We'll get back to you shortly.
I have a question, actually. How many
Of course.
ships do you plan on building?
How many ships?
How many ships do you plan on building?
We believe there is enough wood in the woodlands to finish one ship every quarter for the next 10 years.
That didn't actually answer my question. How many ships are you planning on building? Or are
Well,
you going
10
to
times 4, so 40.
Right. That's many acres of trees.
Yes, that's what they're there for. They grow back. They're a renewable resource.
Hmm.
But the problem is that these are old growth trees, which is what we would need for the masts. Most of the rest of the place have small little saplings, which are not as good, which is why you have something of value, which is why we offer something of value.
It takes many years to build that many ships.
Mm-hmm. Cogs don't grow on trees.
They don't?
Well, they're made out of trees.
No, that was a statement. They don't. I know they don't. All right.
As you say. So I look forward to hearing your acceptance of our offer.
You'll hear our response when we're finished speaking with everyone else. Thank you.
Till then, fortune favor you. And she leaves.
I don't trust anyone who's willing to throw that much money around. Let's not sell to them.
I can't imagine that they would need 40 ships for their trade business. That's a lot of trees and a lot of waste.
I mean, trade could mean a lot of things. Like
I
they're
would
willing
tib
to.
on this one.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in it.
I don't like pins.
Luckily, gold is not the only thing of value in this world.
There's
Would you,
also cheese.
That's some delicious cheese. Who would you like to speak with next? We got forest giants, dwarves, star song elves.
Let's
Big
hear from
cheese.
House Zarakul.
Sure.
Zarakul is represented by one of their factors, Samderi Anult. Greetings unto you. O Welkin Weave, heroes of Elsa Vale, Laird of Brindle, I give you greetings. Quentin Carl, I thank you for this opportunity to introduce myself and my family and our offer that we bring you.
Thank you for responding. Please
It
present.
is my pleasure and honor.
Would you like any wine to drink?
Oh, yes. I will happily share a glass with you, Laird of the Vale.
Little finger snapping, and we get to it.
Wine is disposed. He holds it.
So I believe you were telling us about your offer.
We've already moved forward to the negotiations. Excellent. I am glad to hear your forthrightness on this matter, oh great luck bringer. I represent the Zarakul family that wants to use the Vrath keep as a hunting lodge. I have brought to you this offering to show our earnestness. And he has two servants bring in what looks like a bushel that contains an entire bushel full of oysters that have been sealed with a moat of elemental ice so they stay fresh and cool.
I like your style.
And what do you hunt in your family?
Deer, foxes, occasionally boar, elk if one is available. We would like to have hunting rights in all lands west of the Elsyr River with the Vrath keep. Hunting is very entertaining to the nobility. You go out, you ride, you converse, you show off your prowess in the wilderness, and then you come back and have a feast. They'd love it. It's kind of like a pilgrimage for rich people.
West of the keep is relatively untamed lands.
Perfect. We would want to keep it that way.
Except for some forest giants and the occasional dryad.
Well, fortunately, the forest giants really don't interfere with us overly. As long as they don't throw rocks at our keep, I don't suppose we would have a problem with them. And dryads, well, that will just make the hunts more entertaining, wouldn't it?
Is there a price tag you'd be willing to?
Yes.
Yes.
I've been authorized to extend you this letter of credit for 25,000 gold pieces up front, payable in a lump sum.
Okay.
Out of character, what do we know about House Zarakul?
You're not from
No. So nothing?
Well, do you have history trained?
No.
Make me a history check then. Untrained.
I mean,
12.
You, on your trip down here, you actually remember passing by somebody or a house, or remember running into House Zarakul, and they were a noble house. But beyond that lives here in and you believe they're based out of Afkatla,
which is nearby.
Which is the big city nearby. But that's about all you know off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bope, you recognize his pen. You saw a lot of it this past downtime.
No.
You were you might have met
Bope
one
react?
of, you met one of his colleagues.
Did?
Got something, Bo?
I mean, it's not the Knight of the Shield, is it?
Yes,
Oh, it is.
he's a member of the Knight of the Shield,
Okay.
which leads you to believe that the house is part of the Knights of the Shield.
Well, these people are very well established to the south. I've done some good, strong dealings with them. They seem trustworthy and helpful.
True.
Have you any further questions for me, Liege? and Velkyn weave.
Oh,
If
no.
not, I shall retire and await your pleasure.
Of course. Thank you for your time. We'll get back to you.
The pleasure was mine. I look forward to future dealings with all of you. Farewell until then. And he leaves.
Forest giants, dwarves, and the Starsong elves.
Well, we keep hearing a lot of those that want to use the forest for their own. Perhaps we should hear from those that already live there.
Mm.
True.
Yes, seems fair.
What is it? It's not Rockelnaw? No.
Narkle?
Warklenaw.
Work.
Yeah.
Are you bringing in Warklenaw?
Is he the representative of the forest giants?
He is.
All right then.
Well, I
He's
guess we'll go.
uncomfortable here and does not like it.
Little ones,
Yes.
I do not want your keep. It is a symbol of oppression. Tear it down, I ask you. Pull down its walls. Let no one live there. Let the forest take it back. This Ronkelmaw asks of you.
I like him.
Well, that is an interesting offer. Certainly a strong contender.
Good. Ronkelmaw, leave now. This place small and smells funny.
We'll get back to you tomorrow. Thank you.
You have any owlbear?
No, but
I
there
never
might be.
eat halfling on way out.
We do mind. Actually, there may be some farm fresh Hydra available at the market. You should check it out.
Oh. Boom, 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 boom.
Why
And he's
would there
gone.
be Hydra in the market?
Well, there were a number of Hydra in the rivers and stuff, and I figured maybe they're farming them. You know, cut it off, cut it off, cut it off. It's a renewable resource.
Not particularly humane.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Renewable resources. It's a great business to be in.
It's like timber.
Apparently.
Timber takes much longer to grow back, though.
it
Oh,
hurts.
you
much
might
them.
notice some differences between these characters' voices and what Grant did.
But
War is tough
No,
on
we-
people, you know.
yeah, it's like
Changes
we,
people.
we didn't notice anything different.
Also, I understand Grant only had two voices, Grant and not Grant.
So on my list, I take a big black pen and I cross out forest giants.
Okay.
A most intriguing offer, but
He's gone.
like
He couldn't
them.
read anyway.
okay, dwarves
I
it
thought
is.
that
Then.
they're probably the most honest, so I liked them.
Oh, definitely, I can
They,
see
they
their
did
point.
help us out in the war.
Yeah.
True, and I'm pretty sure that the Vroth screwed them over at some point in the past, pretty
We-
Oh,
badly.
yeah.
Well,
There's some major league
Yeah.
screwing going on.
So
Wait,
I
did I-
mean,
I imagine most of this time, Stigander is like playing with one of her braids, like fussing with like ribbons and jewels that she has tied into her braids because she has nothing better to do and has no idea what's going on.
Oh, here's 5 gold. Thank you.
Oh yes. Just
So
like,
who do you want to meet with next? Your dwarves, or the Kirikator? Sorry, Kirikator.
might as well do the dwarves. Get them done. They're probably pissed about that play.
Dwarves don't go to plays.
Alrighty.
We'll see.
The dwarves, the Hammerfist holds, are represented. Let me get her voice. Aldrina Flamehair of the Hammerfist holds. I am here to represent the dwarves.
Well
we have
met.
ideas for what we can do with the Brat Deep. We are proposing to build a trade post. We shall bring our goods down from the mountains and set up a shop a trading post at the keep where people can buy dwarven goods without knocking on our doors and bothering us all the time.
Not exactly near any trade routes, though. You'd have to...
It is exactly on the Dawn Way that goes straight out of this vale to the rest of I thought you were skilled in cryptography.
I thought so, too.
She looks at you.
I knew that.
I see. Oh, you need a good woman to keep you straight, I see.
He has one.
He
Although
has
we've never
one?
seen her. Honestly, I don't know if she's real.
I've heard of men who have these wives.
I have a child as well.
Never
you?
seen that one either.
How are your relations with?
I haven't seen your children either, so let's not get there.
Anyway, so we'll let the handsome dwarf yell at us later. So we have prepared the following offer. We will give you 5,000 gold pieces up front, plus 5% of the gross for the next 20 years. An estimated 1,000 gold pieces per year.
Okay.
Of course, then, excuse me, receipts will be provided so you can keep track and know that we are not trying to cheat you.
I do love paperwork. You know
We
me.
love stonework.
How
Our
are your
receipts
relations?
solid.
How are your relations with the hen?
The hen?
Yes.
They're fine. Why'd you ask?
They had an interesting proposal as well. They were actually looking to set up a trade post, cheese making, and
They're going to pay us in cheese.
I'm paying you in gold.
okay.
Question. Do you plan on cutting down the forest, killing all its inhabitants, or oppressing the forest giants?
No, and no, I think.
Okay. Persuasive.
First of all, well, if we turn the wood into charcoal, it's actually worth a damn. But we found fire rock underground that burns much cleaner and hotter than wood. Let the hen have it. So we don't really need to chop your trees down. Also, we don't need to eradicate all the inhabitants. We're just looking for a place to set up our trading posts. Besides that, what better way for people to enter into the Vale than to go past the Hammerfist Holds trading post right there?
True. I mean,
Pick
location,
up their
location,
dwarven goods
location.
and then move on to Bristol if you want. No, sorry, not Bristol, Brindle. That's been auto-correcting on me all week.
Well, Eldrina, thank you. That's a strong offer. We do have one last group to meet with, and then we'll be getting responses out to you tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay. I'll catch you later, little cutie. And she says Rangram and heads out.
Rangram is like, no.
All right.
After she leaves, will there not be enough room for both of them to set up shop in that place?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe they want to do like a joint offer.
That is a terrible idea. Have you ever seen merchants go at it? And making
Yeah, but
them
they're
share a
selling
space?
different things, though.
We could sell tickets for extra profit.
Well, I guess
Tickets to watch them, fight.
the hen, though, would want to tax the trade route, which could be counterproductive to them trying to draw people in. But
Or
it's
that
interesting.
would be, yeah.
Wait, what are the hen?
The
ones that
dwarves
want
would
to-
not be supportive of the tolling because they think that would discourage business. But if you're just doing this to make money, then all those people coming to the keep in order to buy dwarf stuff need to stay somewhere and eat and drink. And dwarf food is just really ain't all that.
Come to the live stream, stay for the talk about tariffs and trade taxes. Yeah. All right. Tiri Qatar, Star Song Elves, one last offer.
Their representative, you know very well. Talaria Night Shadow. She's a short elf, shorter than your drow. coming in at just about 5 feet, and is dressed in the leathers and feathers of the wild elves of the Tirikator elves. She has energetic and bright eyes. And she looks at you and says, "Thank you for meeting with me. I'm so glad we have this opportunity to talk." I need to get her voice. Where is it? She's in here somewhere. There it is. I found it. So, I'm afraid that we cannot offer much in the way of gold. Instead, I ask for reciprocity. The elves came to the aid of Brindle in its time of need. We fought and died for the human lands of the Elser Vale, and we're asking for a share of the bounty. Please grant us this keep, this writ, so we might have a place to live other than a hill in the swamp. Give us back our forests, so that we can settle the elves there, and once again, the boughs underneath the trees can sing with laughter. The trods can once more be formed. The sound of music will echo through the leaves. We know that you need something for what you've done, so we are able to scrape together, we think, 1,000 gold pieces. But we ask you to remember all that the Tirikator have done for you, and for the Vale, and how much better of a place it will be with us living in the Witchwood than the merchants, or the dwarves, or the other merchants.
And we remember what you did in protecting Renion's body before he was laid to rest. Thank you.
He could have been part of our tribe if he had survived.
His heart was true. Thank you. We must discuss amongst ourselves, and we will get back to you. Thank you.
Good luck to you. Whichever decision you land upon, know that we are your friends and always will be.
Of course.
And she leaves.
Whoa, what a buffet.
I know. Man, I see that this is why I need, I would do the worst thing possible. So I need.
You need a boat on your shoulder.
And by the worst thing possible, you mean take all the money and run?
Hey, I don't. No comment.
It has been my intention in my entire adult life to return that which is sacred to others to them. So the Star Song Elves' argument is one that rings quite true, as well as that of the forest trolls or forest giants. But I understand that is not, and as I was not there for the capture, I have very little stake in this. So I'm merely a bystander, but an observant one nonetheless.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I know I'm not really a part of your group right now, and Bope is just paying me to stick around. But I think that there's something special about giving something to somebody who's lost so much and needs a place to belong. It's what my God teaches me.
Yeah,
Forest giants lost much, and so did the Star Song Elves. And I don't like the idea of disregarding Narkle Naw's wishes.
Think about how much the Kazalmak have lost, though. The war has really put a dent into their ship production. Without
My
these
heart
lands-
bleeds.
But cutting down so much forest? And what about the homes for all of the giants? Are you blind to their suffering in this?
I mean,
Having known him a little bit, yes.
isn't the saying "home is where the heart is"?
But if you
That's
have
rich
no
coming from a guy
home-
who's living in the mansion.
Exactly.
And it is the good life, let me tell you. More
Well-
wine, please.
These giants cannot live in a beautiful home as such as you have. The forest is their home, and having the elves go there could enrich the place very much, and it could make the giants happier.
Yeah, I think we sell it to the elves.
Yes,
I
I
think you
don't think
give
I
it-
could.
I think you give it to the elves. Don't take the money that they scrape together. That, again, I know I'm not... I wasn't there for the struggle. Rengrim has a little bit more experience with your group. I know I'm don't have much of a say.
I'm pretty sure they're lowballing us because I know for a fact they got a hammer of thunderbolts. Look,
It is a sacred weapon,
Yeah,
It's
we
true.
can't ask them to give us that. Jeez.
and I think they
Ah,
buried it.
you know-
I think they buried it with Renyon.
He
I was
buried it
thinking,
with Renyon.
there is probably like a 75% chance that Renyon's corpse may be somewhere within the vicinity of Froth Keep. I'm just saying.
All the more reason to sell it to the elves.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Oh, God. Think of the money. 50,000
Listen,
gold.
I know. It feels bad to turn away from that much money, but let me tell you, there are strings attached to
All
that
right.
kind of windfall.
No. Hang
And
on.
I-
Strings
and I-
attached to bags of money that dance.
Delirious, let's look at it this way. And maybe this will entice Quentin more. Yes, you could have the money up front. Yes, you could do outstanding things of that. But you already said earlier that there's adventure to be had. If you already have the money, then what's the point of the adventure? The adventure brings the opportunity for the money. You're going to find that wealth one way or another. This time, you get to do some good with it.
I hate it when I hear true words. Hurts me a little bit, but I think you're right. Pope, are you in agreement?
It's been many years since I've been home, but I couldn't abide the thought of selling out these trees to merchants that are just going to cut and burn and shape them into something else. And I mean, what would I say to Mr. Peppers if I let them open a hunting party? Could never look at him the same.
What would Mr. Peppers say to the cheese? What if we cut a little side deal? He gets all the cheese he could eat.
Well, let me ask him.
Rabbits eat
No.
cheese.
I don't think the rabbits can eat cheese.
No,
Once.
yeah. No, he did eat it once, and then he was laid out for a week. I had to give him a good berry to get him over that.
I don't quite remember. What exactly does the title to Wrath keep? How much land are we talking are encompassed in that?
I had assumed it meant all the Witchwood west of the Elsyr Vale, west of the Elsyr River. If you look at the map,
You mean east? Or do you mean west? Because
I do mean west.
just that
Looking,
small
on
sliver.
looking at the Red Hand of Doom map,
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was
assuming is west. Yeah, west is to the left on this one.
Yeah.
You have the red road that is the Dwarf Road.
Yep.
And it goes from Skull Gorge down to Drellin's Ferry.
Yep.
Drellin of Wrath Keep kind of gets that crescent
little
of forest
Okay.
that's west of the river.
So it's a good bit of land, you know?
Yeah, it's
A
looking
place-
like about 10, maybe 20 miles wide, 30 miles tall, as a guesstimate.
I don't know who quite owns it, but you could sell them the
Well,
remains
do.
of the Skull Gorge.
Hey, I didn't make up the rules. I found the piece of paper and kept it. You know, it could have been left in a book and fallen apart, but attention to detail, you know? Okay. Let's go piss some people off.
Good for the soul.
who are you
Yeah.
pissing off? What's your answer?
I mean, cheese is the answer, right? No.
Cheese. Think of the
I mean,
cheese.
you are the holder of the deed. It is your decision.
Cheese futures.
Cheese futures. Man. All right. Yeah, I'm going to announce the Tiri Takor.
There's a gasp. When you announce it, the reactions are Ranklemore just goes and leaves. Aldrina Fire Flame Hair goes, Galadon the Rye Thresher goes, we tried. What else? Well, back to the cheese.
Wheel always spins.
Yep. Umran is furious. Absolutely furious. And will be packing her bags and leaving that afternoon. Grumble, 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 grumble. Didn't pick my offer. Grumble. Talaria is overwhelmed and overjoyed and is like near tears as she is so grateful as you are going to, as you hand over the writ to her. Or you want to do any sort of ceremony or anything like that?
No, because I don't want any blowback on my wife and stuff. So we'll keep
quietly and hand it over.
That's twice now that the Velkyn Weave has saved them. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe at some point in the future we need to lay low or something. We've got friends that we hooked up,
Samdere, the Nolt from House Zarakul, applauds your decision and says that was very skillfully and wisely thought out. He looks forward to future interactions with you in the coming years. Good day, lad.
Don't be a stranger.
Give my regards to Sir Eric.
I will do so. And I'm sure he passes along those to you as well. Good luck in your hunt.
This person's approval makes me nervous.
Sir Eric.
Where was
no, I don't know who that is. This is House Zara, cool person. Makes me nervous.
You know them?
No, I don't. I'm just getting, the little hairs on my neck going tingle, tingle.
Rangrim nods ahead. I think Bope knows him.
Yes, I didn't want to bog down all the happy, festivities going on, but I've been pretty busy to the south.
50,000 gold.
Leader.
All right. They will, Talaria is going to head off to the Black Fens to tell the rest of her tribe and to see if they can put together 1,000 gold pieces. And you hold on to the writ until then. They should be back in the next 10 day.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sometime.
In which case, the next thing that's going to be happening is the naming ceremony. Yes.
Hey.
What I came here for.
Yeah.
Yes. That'll happen at, let's say the next day, shortly before noon, so that they can have a feast at High Sun Fest. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. They have set up tables out on the cathedral square in front of the Cathedral of Amantor and the small temple to Kelemvor and the in-progress foundation of the Temple of Tymora that's going in. You also find out that over at the Kelemvor Temple, the coffin maker is also moonlights as the prop creator for the Valorian's Playhouse. You can do two different things. The food smells so good. They've been roasting the roasted beasts that they've been turning over the spits. They've got all sorts of vegetables. It's late spring, so stuff is starting to come in. Lots of strawberries, asparagus galore, leafy vegetables, and of course, bread and halfling cheese, wax wrapped pressed cheese.
Some giant wedges of watermelon.
Oh heavens, yes. Oh man, there's going to be games afterwards. One of the big one is going to be there's going to have a competition for the Renyan sweep, which is where you try to cut the legs out of the other person, and cheating is totally expected and almost required in this game. But first, it's going to be a celebration at the cathedral. The call to the service is done through great chimes that are up in the towers instead of bells. They have giant chimes that run the length of the tower that they beat with mallets. Bang, bang, and the echo goes up, and the people start funneling in. The Amantor, the congregation stands. There's no queues in it. However, unless you're a principal or a noble and royalty, which is y'all, so you get to sit on the dais at the high end of the nave where the ceremony is going to be had. I need to know, Quentin, who is carrying the child? Is it you or Lady Verasa? I'm asking for no particular reason.
I will.
Okay. None whatsoever. I look at the child. Does the child look like Quentin?
You're asking for no particular reason whatsoever.
Interesting you ask that.
Roll a D100.
One thing about the child does resemble Quentin. Like most kids, they resemble their father a great deal. I think it makes easy claiming. But this one has violet eyes.
Ooh.
Like an amethyst?
Yes.
I look at the child. I look at Tig. I look at the child. I look at Tig. Huh. Okay. Weird elf things, whatever.
It definitely has elven heritage in it, with the bluish tinge of the moon elf heritage. I believe Quentin has.
Yes.
Okay, and but the most startling thing were those bright purple eyes. She's a cutie patootie, by the way.
Which is why we're calling her Phelan, Anyway.
The ceremony will be overseen by Tredora Goldenbrow. Delirious will have an opportunity to offer a blessing at the end. I believe you put in a request for that.
Mm-hmm,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of the nobility of the Vale are kept here. That includes Owen Cheskerwill of Brindle, Rolla Haskanar of Brindle. Maybe you remember her. You're the captain of Drellin's Ferry, Sarana and Anata.
Yeah.
If you dealt with her a great deal. She's here. She's now effectively the mayor of Drellin's Ferry. Hargul Trask of Elsker Cross, Erethal Rethu of Marthton, and Clara Neston of Talar. All these names, all the little lordlings that go around, the names will mean more to Quentin. Perhaps you might meet them more and have more talk with them more as this campaign goes on. One thing that happened, Quentin, an old friend, I think is the term that was used, Blanche Lafayette.
Oh, yeah.
Sent in her RSVP, but hasn't shown up.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was hoping she would be here.
You will all be seated on the dais in places of honor, and the last to arrive, you'll all be shown in one at a time while they're singing hymns as a great processional, and the last are you and Quentin and Lady Verasa. The greeting is done by Tredora as the hymn comes to an end, and she welcomes everyone, and she does a collect prayer to Abantor, god of sun and being on time. Law. To those who have not met her before, she is an Isomar, and her name, Goldenbrow, is pretty accurate. After the collect, she's asked you, Quentin, and Lady Verasa to present your child.
Sure, I practice this many times and go through the steps presenting the child.
All right. Now, we already had the description of her, unless you want to add anything more at this point in time.
She's got my nose. Hey.
She totally does. All right. Tredora there in front of Amantor and everyone asks you for the name of the child as part of the ritual.
Her name shall be Phelan Call.
She holds out her hands to take the child from you as part of you were familiar with this as part of the ritual. And she holds it up to the light and asks to blesses it in the light of Amantor with good health. And I need everyone to make me a wisdom check. Sorry, a perception check. Wisdom perception check.
Oh, 7.
7.
I'm very into focusing on my kid right now.
Altogether 20.
27.
Nat 20, I got 25.
Interesting. The DC is 20. Nope. Delirious, all three of you notice the child flinches a bit when she holds it up to the light.
That's interesting.
Bo, You witnessed a very similar type of flinching a couple days ago when you first arrived in Brindle and walked out into the sun with your new hireling.
Yes, that is interesting. Sort of look to Tig. Did you see that? Interesting.
She then turns to the next priest, who is Miram, the High Mourner of Kelemvor, who gives the child his blessing and says, "May Kelemvor judge you with a long life." And no fletching. Tredora then looks to Delirus, offers you the opportunity to come forward and give a blessing on the child.
Little lady Phelan Call, you have a great life laid out before you. I bless you to be always in the light of Timora's fortune, and also take after your mother.
There's some stickers in the crowd.
I give a chuckle, but still smile.
With that done, Tredora will hold up the child in presentation to the audience like Simba at the beginning of The Lion King, and says, "Behold, Phelan Call, heir of Elser Vale." And the crowd goes, "Woo!" There's cheering and applaud and confetti comes out, and everyone is happy. And then there's a gasp in the audience. Walking through the crowd towards you is an unnaturally tall and supernaturally beautiful woman with wild white hair and a manic grin. She's wearing a dark blue gown that must have been fine at one point, but is now soiled and torn so many times that it's little more than ribbons. She's barefoot, and her feet are caked in mud. There's a collective gasp from the crowd as they all step back, and you hear one word, a name, rippling through the onlookers. Bashaba.
I'm so confused.
I don't know who that is.
This is a joke from the beginning of the campaign, and I love it. I'm here for this.
I'm equally as confused.
Oh my God. Bashaba. As everyone looks terrified at her. And you watch as Tredora pulls the baby back away from this woman, who is taking in the scene of the cathedral, the nobility, and you. Quite the assembly, nobility, gentry. And then she looks right at you, Delirus, and the lucky.
To what do we owe the honor of your visit, great goddess?
My sister has given you many boons, while I have held my hand. I see a new temple for her, but none for me. I hear praise for her, but none for me. Where's the gratitude? Where's the devotion? Where's my happy ending, luck bringer? Your luck's about to change. Velkyn weave. The antlers of Bashaba have stretched out about this land and have taken you into their embrace. And you, she points right at you, Delirus. You will build me a temple the equal to any in Brindle. Do this for me, and I will spare the Vale my horns. Failed me, and this child She points right at Phelan. Will receive my blessing when she turns 12. Chance will be her bane. Good health and long life will be tempered by misfortune. A flip of the coin will always go against her. Her toast will always land butter side down.
Oh no.
But this won't happen because you're going to give me the devotion I'm due. A temple in Brindle, the equal of every other. And she looks around at the magnificent cathedral to Amantor. I'll be on my way now. I have other parties to crash. Uppity to humble. Dreams to ruin. But don't worry. I won't be far. Misfortune awaits around every corner. And she turns to walk back out. And then she stops for a moment. Oh, I wouldn't want you to think this is all in jest. So have a little taste of what bad luck can do. She waves her hand over the assembled onlookers. Wisps of mud smoke flow from their mouth and nostrils, and of all the attendees, the onlookers collapse as the smoke leaves their body. The smoke forms into a large column in the center of the cathedral that moves like a snake. Giant antlers seem to be made out of smoke are on its brow. My, that is a lot of bad luck they all brought with them, says Bashaba. She vanishes. And we will begin our next session.
Oh!
In fighting the bad luck monster.
Oh no!
Oh goodness!
Bad juju. It's like I'm in a Malifaux game.
And my daughter, we're gonna go god hunting.
Oh yes. As we wrap up for this evening, join in next week when the party tries to fight the terror of Bashaba that she has unleashed upon them by draining all the bad luck out of the town and focusing right at them. It'll be fun!
Ooh.
And now, we have some quick reminders. And thank you all for watching. And I think after that, we're going to go raid a friend and bring them the bad luck of Bashaba. No, luck of Timora. Or Bashaba. No, Timora. Totally my Timora.
Oh dear.
So...
Don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel for more moments of abject terror just like this. Subscription is free and you don't miss any of the action and access to additional content. Your likes and positive comments on the videos give us a boost and help the future Tavern Raiders find out about the shows. Help.
And don't forget to go visit overheadgames.com and check out their avatar maker tools.
And be sure to check out the Games Tavern Happy Hour now on Wednesdays, tomorrow, as the adventurers set off on a new campaign arc a year after the war. Actually, that may not be for tomorrow. Yeah, so just check out the Games Tavern Happy Hour and have fun.
It might sneak in there. All right, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had as much fun as I did. We got to see a little bit of the past and a whole lot of the future. It's going to be a fun time. All right, thank you very all. And who are we rating? Who's in charge of this? I don't know.
It'll happen. Just stick around.
All right.
Good night.
Take care, everybody. Good night.
See you next
Bye.
Tuesday.